to know what is a thread. So now a process contains several number of threads, and then threads are used to minimize the context switching, and it enables efficient communication. So there are two types of threads. So one is the user thread and the next is the kernel thread. So now in user thread, the kernel is it is not aware of the existence of the thread, and it contains code. So now the creating, the destroying of threads, message passing, and the data between the threads for scheduling thread execution, for saving and restoring thread context, for everything it is done through coding. So now here you can see that the coding is taken from the thread library, and the user space is doing all the job. So now these represents the threads, and then there are no coding in the kernel space. Everything is done in the user space. And the next is kernel thread. So now kernel thread is not dependent on any coding, but it is directly dependent on the operating system itself. So now there is no thread management code in this area. So now the thread creation, scheduling, creating a thread, destroying a thread, everything is done in the kernel space and not in the user space. And the next is the most important concept of the operating system, that is multi-threading. So now multiple threads allow for effective communication, and there are no deadlocks or starvation occurring during this process. So now when we use multiple threads within an application, multiple processes can run in parallel, and there is no blocking system. So now there are three models in multi-threading. The first model is many-to-many model. So in this any number of user thread is mapped to many number of kernel threads. But in this case, if there is any lock in any one of the thread, then the kernel thread cannot be accessed. So that is a major disadvantage of many-to-many model. So now the developers, they can create user threads, and then after that the corresponding kernel thread, which will be, it is generated by the operating system, and it runs in the multiprocessor machine. So now this is the picture. So now here you can see there are many threads which are mapped to many kernel threads. So now if there any block occurs over here or here, the full kernel space, the threads will be blocked and it cannot be accessed. The next model is many-to-one model. So now in many-to-one model, many user level threads are mapped to one kernel thread. So now this is the picture. So now many user threads is mapped to only one kernel. So now but one disadvantage which is this model is facing is when the thread makes a blocking system call, the entire thread will make a blocking system call, and the entire system will get blocked. And then next is many-to-many model. So now in many-to-many model, there is only one relationship from the user level thread to a kernel level thread. So each user thread will be mapped to a kernel thread, and it allows another thread to run when a thread makes a blocking system call. So if any block occurs in the user thread, also the only the particular kernel thread which is associated with the blocked user thread will be blocked, and the others will be the same. So now this allows to execute parallel in microprocessor. This makes the execution part very easier. So now a process which contains many threads is very user friendly, and it helps the user in many ways. Thank you.